It's like my stomach is doing somersaults. That, my friends, is a midnight snack that will have your toes curling up when you take a bite. G'day guys, Curtis here. I have got my favourite ever grilled cheese sandwiches. I think it's the best one you're ever going to taste. Now, I grew up in Australia, in Melbourne, and we call a grilled cheese sandwich a toasty. It's every kid's favourite snack, but you can make a really fantastic gourmet version, and that's what I'm going to show you today. So the first choice you've got to make is what kind of bread do you want to use? I've got a beautiful big country loaf here. This is a sourdough, so that has a bit more character and flavour. Or you can go for something super soft. I'm not a hater. Oh, this is like a milk bread. If you get a beautiful soft white bread, it also works really well for a grilled cheese sandwich, especially if you're making them for kids. But for today, I'm going for the country loaf. Now here's a secret. Get yourself a nice big serrated knife and cut right on through. But see how I'm not using a lot of force? I'm letting the sharpness of the knife do the work. What you want to do is cut it pretty thin. A good grilled cheese sandwich is all about the filling. Just sort of support the bread, hold it nice and tight with your hand, and then just let the sharpness of that blade do the work. Here's a little secret. If you try and butter the bread, especially if it's lovely and fresh like this, you could tear it. You don't have to butter it. You can butter the pan. You can take a little chunk of butter and you just sort of spread that around. Notice my pan's not super hot. And then you're just gonna throw the bread straight on down in like that. Then we have another choice to make. What kind of cheese do you want to use? I've got my box grater here. I've got 4 different types of cheeses. I like a combination. Aged cheddar. This is Gruyère, that French cheese, really rich. Fontina, very soft, mild cheese. And Raclette, one of the all-time masters of the melter. So, take a little bit of each of these cheeses and grate it, right? So I'm gonna start with my aged cheddar. Gruyère, not as much because it is a stronger flavored cheese. Then the Fontina, good amount of the Fontina. That's that beautiful, soft, mild cheese. And lastly, the perfect melting cheese raclette. It's absolutely delicious. So melt plenty of that raclette. And then I'll give that a little mix. Before you load it up onto your bread, just move that bread around, right? Make sure that you've got a really nice covering of that butter. Before you put the cheese, take a little Dijon mustard. That Dijon mustard is going to give you a really nice light spiciness. If your kids don't like mustard, leave it off. If your friends don't like mustard, invite someone else. Once you've got that mustard on there, go ahead and get a big old handful of that cheese and be really generous. Load it up. Now, it could be this simple. I could put the other piece of bread on, I could butter it, and it could just be that. And it would be fantastic. Or, you know what I'm about to do? I'm about to do something crazy. I'm gonna reach back here for some of my barbecue pork. So this is my pulled pork. Takes any grilled cheese sandwich to a whole different level. So all I want you to do, this has been slowly cooking, is get some of those burnt ends, pull it like this. I'm just using my tongs, right, with some of that beautiful barbecue sauce. Take some of that pulled pork straight over here. We just served these pulled pork grilled cheeses at a music festival. And I'll tell you what, every single person that ate one came up and was like, oh my God, how did you make that? And I thought, I'm gonna make a video on it. Get a little bit more of that sauce from around the edge of the pan there and just drizzle that over. Now, this looks fancy, right? You're thinking to yourself, I'm not gonna make pulled pork just for a grilled cheese sandwich. You don't have to. Just use a little bit of barbecue, some leftover that you've got in the fridge, and it'll work just as well. All right, now the whole time I've had this on a really nice low temperature. If I wanna just crank that ever so slightly, I can. Take your other piece of bread, make sure it matches in terms of the shape, and then just gently push down on it. A little bit of that barbecue sauce might come through, no problem. Here's the solution. We're actually gonna take some Parmesan cheese and we're gonna fill the holes with the cheese. But before we do that, a little bit of butter. I really concentrate on the crust for a couple of reasons. Firstly, it's the sturdiest part of the bread, so it'll accept you spreading it with that little bit of butter. And secondly, if you've got butter sort of covering the outside, it'll all melt in to the center of the sandwich, which is exactly what you want. I move it around and you pick up any of these little crispy pieces of cheese, right? You'll just pick those up on the side of the sandwich. Let's have a little peek underneath. Oh yeah, a little bit more. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, isn't all that butter and cheese bad for me? What would the doctor say? Well, the doctor's not here, okay? So you just enjoy yourself. We are gonna flip it a couple of times because we want that heat to be transferring all the way through our beautiful grilled cheese sandwich here underneath. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Over she goes. I mean, you see how there's little pockets of cheese that have kind of melted through and then they caramelize when they hit the pan? That's why it's important to use a great non-stick piece of cookware, right? This is the DuraPan. This is that beautiful big griddle pan. I absolutely love using it. It works so well. And then 5 cheese, grilled cheese sandwich. I've got some Parmesan cheese. We're going to actually cover it. Oh, it's one of my favorite sounds. The sound of that sizzling cheese in my pan. All right, my Parmesan's on top. The cheese is melting. It's gonna be so good. Let's flip it one last time. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Look at how that barbecue sauce has come on through, that deep caramelization. It's exactly what you're looking for. Give it a little press, not too much, because you don't want to squeeze all the cheese out of it. As soon as that Parmesan's caramelized, we turn it over and we serve it. It's ready to go. It's like my stomach is on a roller coaster. It's just like doing somersaults. The smell of this and the sizzle, the sound of that, it's like there's something that's happening in this room right now that's very, very special. The time is now. Our grilled cheese is complete. Lift that pan up. Oh man. So you can see how that Parmesan is just caramelized on the top, gotten super crisp. You'll even hear it. Yeah. Crispy on the outside. Just punch your knife through it like that. I'm just going to cut through this one more time. Look at that. Absolutely divine. Now, the last thing that I serve it with is some pickled red onions, because you get that beautiful acidity. You can just sort of eat those as you like. Maybe another little dollop of Dijon to dip it into. That, my friends, is a midnight snack that will have your toes curling up when you take a bite. You ready? Bon appetit. I mean, with or without the barbecue pork, it's just such a good sandwich. Woohoo!
And thanks for watching. Now, I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you want more, because I've got plenty to give you. All you have to do is subscribe.